Oh, wait. So today we're doing a deep dive, and we're really going deep on this one.
Yeah.
You sent over some fascinating stuff on large language models.
Yeah.
You even included a snippet of a conversation
Yeah.
that you had with a chatbot.
Mhm.
I got to say, some of those responses were so smooth, it was almost unsettling.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin with all
Well,
this?
what's really interesting is that while it feels like magic under the hood, it's actually a very complex
Yeah.
but ultimately understandable process.
Yeah.
Um, these models are trained on a massive amount of data,
Yeah.
essentially learning to predict
Mm-hmm.
what comes next in a sequence of words.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
supercharged predictive text on your phone.
Oh, okay. So if I'm understanding this right,
Right.
the chatbot you were talking with, it isn't actually thinking
Yeah.
like we do. It's more like a super-powered autocomplete.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Such a
pulling
good
from this
way.
vast library of language. It's absorbed and stringing together words based on probability.
You got it.
Okay.
And that's what makes your conversation snippet so interesting.
Okay.
The chatbot wasn't pulling from pre-programmed responses.
Right.
It was generating them on the fly
Wow.
based on the patterns it's learned from the data it was trained on.
Okay.
That's how it's able to hold a conversation that feels so natural.
That brings up a really interesting point.
Yeah.
I was looking at your chatbot conversation,
Okay.
and there's a part where the chatbot gives information about, I don't want to give away any spoilers,
Right. Yeah.
but it's information that could be interpreted in a few different ways,
Yeah.
depending on what you already believe.
Sure.
So how does something like that happen
Right. Yeah.
if it's just predicting the next word?
Well, that's where things get really complex.
Yeah,
The model isn't consciously trying to mislead anyone.
right.
But the information it provides is only as good as the data it was trained on.
Right.
If that data contains inaccuracies or reflects a certain perspective,
Yeah.
those biases can show up in the chatbot's responses.
So going back to your conversation,
Yes.
is there a chance that the chatbot was unintentionally
Uh,
reflecting biases present in the data
yeah.
it learned from? Almost like an inheriting the blind spots of its training data.
It's definitely a possibility.
Wow. Okay.
And that's why it's crucial to remember that these large language models,
Mhm.
as impressive as they are
Yeah.
still tools.
Okay.
They don't have inherent understanding or consciousness.
Right.
They're incredibly powerful at processing language,
Yeah.
but they're not a replacement for critical thinking.
So how should we be thinking about these chatbots
Right.
and AI systems in general?
Yeah.
Should we be worried about them?
I wouldn't say worried,
Okay.
but it's definitely important to be informed.
Okay.
We need to understand their capabilities and limitations.
Right.
They can be incredibly useful for things like summarizing information, translating languages, or even generating creative content.
Right.
But we always need to be aware that they're operating based on patterns,
Yeah.
not genuine understanding.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into your material,
Right.
what's the one thing you'd want our listeners to take away?
I think of these AI tools as powerful assistants.
Okay.
But remember,
Yeah.
you're still the one in the driver's seat.
Right.
Be curious, be critical,
Mhm.
and keep asking questions.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time to be exploring these technologies.
It is.
And it's conversations like these
Yeah,
that help us navigate this new landscape.
for sure.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We'll see everyone next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.